church, so remember our churches. The men and women that serve this country wear a uniform. I don't care if they're a pencil pusher, commode cleaner, combat soldier, if they serve this country, I'm proud of each and every one of them, past, present, and future. Anybody else got any?
We need to remember our schools, man. It's bad up there, I'm telling you. I've got a daughter that's a teacher, and she says she's scared when she goes in a lot of times. They have no discipline whatsoever.
Remember schools. Nashville's close to home, boys and girls. I mean, that's just over an hour away from us, you know, that's real close. It can happen here. It has happened many years ago, one incident, so y'all remember our school and our children's school. Anybody else have anything on prayer request? If not, then if you got a hat on, take it off. I'll have to quit and ask for prayer now.
Lord, we thank you for the day. Thank you for your blessings. We pray, Lord, that you cover these prayer requests, Lord, and your will be done there. Help us, Lord, to do your will. Help us, Lord, to do the good for the citizens, and we give you the praise. We ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Everybody looked over the minutes there. There's no additions or deletions to the minute. Do I hear a motion to accept the previous minutes?
Make a motion.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, accept the previous minutes. John, you got anything?
I give 3 warnings and had a few little calls this month, but nothing bad.
Anybody got anything for John? Jimmy, what we got for fire department?
Yes, sir. We've had 12 calls this month and 7 men reported.
Been kind of a busy month then.
Yes, sir. Very busy.
We got anything for Jimmy's fire department? All right. Let me add one. I just forgot. I want to add one prayer request. I forgot. I'm sorry. Jerry texted me. He's not here tonight. He was at the doctor's office, and they told him he's got to have another stent put in this week. So that's the reason Jerry's not here tonight. So y'all remember Jerry Crossland. Jerry's not here. Well, the next thing is citizens here tonight, and we'll go one at a time, or if you got one that wants to speak, and I know why most citizens are here. So whoever wants to start off, feel free to ask the question. We'll answer it the best we can.
I just need their name.
We just want to know about the
Buster Smith. I'm
campground.
just trying to keep this down just a second. Mr. Smith.
I'll be buried in
He's the easiest one to spell.
Supposedly going in with the campground and Turner Farm. What'd you say, Buster? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What's going on with this? We heard about the campground coming in, or?
Yes, there is talk about campground on the Turner Farm. When you come into the city, you can go up on the left-hand side. It has been going on for about a month or so. The gentleman with the realtor had been talking to the county mayor prior to talking to me, and he told him he needed to call me, so I don't know if they really knew for sure if the city was a corporated city or not at the time, but it is. So I've talked to him twice. They came in last Tuesday. I met with them. I was about an hour behind due to my work schedule behind when they met them down at the old, we were across from Jason over there where I met them at, 3 investors and the realtor. Some questions was asked. I asked some questions. I'm not sure it's even a done deal for us buying the property yet. I didn't ask them that. It was my understanding it was still under contract or whatever. Their proposal is to build a campground down there on part of that farm with about 400 some plus camper sites, slips, whatever you want to call them. And they want to have a store, swimming pool, that type of thing. It's a large campground. I asked them where do they have any close around here than 150, 200 mile radius so I could even look at it. Said we don't. Said I think the closest one's in Arizona. They're coming from west to east. They're mega campgrounds is what they are. So the investors, one of them is from California, one of them is from Seattle, Washington, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure on the third one he told me, but I don't remember where he was from. And they're building these from, like I say, west to east, and they're going to build, this location they looked at. there's a couple more locations in the county they looked at, but it just didn't work for them. So, and they're moving to the east, going that way with it. That's about all I kind of really know is that's their potential to do that. So,
When you say campground,
yes, ma'am.
do you mean something that someone comes and stays at for a small period of time, or someone that comes and moves in forever and ever?
Well, they're in and out. It's supposed to be the story with them. It's a campground, and I don't know, and Keith Mike can touch on this. He camps a lot, and I'm not real savvy on this, so I don't know what the time frame is when you camp, what's considered a permanent stay or
It's according really to the campground and the stipulations of that campground. You can go, I'm gonna say, Marion County Park. You can go there and stay, I think, a month at a time. Then you have to pull out, set back up again on the same spot. It just depends on the stipulations of the campground.
Did you ask them how much the fee would be?
I did. I asked them what the fees would be, just kind of curiosity. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, around $60 or so, starting out and then going up
And that is per night?
per night. Per night. And I did ask Keith that too. I stopped by saying that, just kind of getting just curious of what a normal campground cost is. And they vary from that up to $150, $200 a night, I guess. It depends where your location, the location is on that.
And the investors are from California and Washington State.
Yes, ma'am. And I want to say Arizona or Colorado, somewhere Midwest back that way. It's not close here. They've got 2 of these or 3 of these already up and going, Arizona being the last one.
Has anyone investigated as to what it's run like?
No, because I just met with them a week ago tomorrow, and there's nothing in stone. I mean, no more than what they just, they give me a little diagram of something they got out there, and I'm sorry, but it's just something that they would like to see. So there's nothing. They've not approached the city as far as, hey, the planning committee. He did ask me about some zoning, and I have got attorney checking on those things. But as far as getting in contact with John, which is chairman of the planning committee or anything like that, we've not heard anything. We've not got any emails from them besides just wanting to meet. So I kind of don't, there's not a whole lot that can be done at this point, until they start making a move to, do something.
And how many lots or sites?
It's over 400, 450,
Sounds a little scary.
something of that nature. It's a lot.
Sounds a little scary.
I guess my question's probably going to be a little premature then. My question would be, how is this going to affect our fire department, our police department? Because in my opinion, our fire department would probably have to grow a little. Our police department surely would. Is South Pittsburgh going to pick up some of this? Is the county going to pick up some of this? I mean, those are questions that we would need to answer. How is this going to affect property value? I've heard rumor that it's going to be more of the luxury type campgrounds, but it's $60 a night. I don't know that that's necessarily luxury. And we're talking about noise. I live next to Keith here. I hear the cows moo every morning. So I guarantee you, if somebody's over there with a boom box and having fun, and I'm not against having fun, I've done that a lot in my life, we're going to hear it over there. And so those are kind of the questions I would have. But with the information you're giving us, I guess those are all pretty much premature. Do you need my name?
Yeah.
Binkley, Mike Binkley. They call me the train man.
And here's something that I did tell them I'd like to meet with them myself, at least myself and John being the planning committee and city attorney, and sit down and talk to him because he's chairman of the planning committee and been the mayor. I'd like to sit down and just have a discussion with them and find out what all the intentions are, kind of get a layout of things before it even goes any further than what it is, because, it might be something that the city might not want to hear nothing, and before they invest a whole lot or try and invest a whole lot, maybe we need to all get on the same page, and they was agreeable to that. To just have a workshop discussion about it, and kind of find out, because I don't know no more than what.
Well, part of it is, how is it going to affect all of our taxes? I mean, property values aside, when you're talking about 400 to 450 spots, you're talking about water, you're talking about electricity, you're talking about sewer especially. I've heard per se that you said they want to put in a store. Well, what kind of store? Are we talking about a convenience type store or something that's going to jump in and rival Foodland a little bit? I mean,
I think mainly the store they was talking about was more like a commissary type store that would just cater right there
Camp
to.
store, like a camp store, a camp supplies.
Yeah, camp supplies, stuff of that nature. I'm not 100% sure because we didn't go into a lot of depth on something. And you brought valid points and questions there that need to be asked. Like the police departments, we got 2 officers, and we don't cover it 24/7. And, he said they have their own security. We don't know how that goes. But anyway.
that's scary.
Yeah. So there's a lot of valid points and questions that need to be asked still, and when I ask, I'll make sure that if they got an attorney, but our attorney's on there, to find out. And the big question is, more than anything, I think, what's the value of New Hope with it? How's it going to help New Hope? What are we going to, is New Hope going to receive anything off of it? Or are we going to be spending money, not receiving no money? Because
That's the biggest question.
if we have to put new other officers on, the fire department, or whatever we have to do, we're spending, and we're not being recipients of nothing on tax dollars. There's going to be no tax dollars as far as the little store that would create revenue for us. Now, they want to say, well, they come there and they can go to your little dog store, they can do that. I mean, the percentage of that's going to be very small.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to beat them up. We're just talking here, trying to,
I have another
Valid
question.
questions with honest answers, that's all anybody's wanting.
Information.
I have another question. How,
hang on, let me get.
Rhonda Lawson, River Rat News. I have another question. What is this going to do and how is this going to impact the city ordinance about people living in RVs/campers? Because that's been a point of issue, and I know people have been getting papers recently, or attempting to get papers recently, about that. So how is this going to be any different from that? And I know it's supposed to be temporary, but, when you get things like that, you're invariably going to have crime come in, like drugs and whatnot. Okay, so how is this going to be different from the man living out here in a camper trailer, the guy living down there in a camper trailer, and the people living at the end of Short Hollow in multiple buildings and camper trailers, and Marty Anderson and his setup that he had over there prior to his death? How is this going to be different, and how is it not going to violate the city ordinance?
Well, I've got to look into that, Ronnie, but those are ones you named out as being addressed as
I realize that,
going on.
but that's something that is predating this particular thing.
I want to get the attorney on that and find out what all, like I said, I don't know all the answers to everything on that, so I'm having to just find, that's a campground, so that's a whole different setup.
It's temporary, yes.
And so that's a whole different setup. I'm just going to have to, we've not ever dealt with nothing on that magnitude, so I got to find out.
Well, my biggest, part B to the question I just asked. What constitutes long-term living in a building/camper in New Hope? Is that in the ordinance? Because I've not seen that ordinance, period. It wasn't in the group that I got when the city gave me the ordinances, and I haven't seen what specifically defines living in a building/camper environment.
You're talking about terms.
I'm talking about, are we talking about days? We talking about weeks? We talking about months? Because if this is luxury based, if it's luxury based, $60 a night is nothing. You all know that. With hotel cost versus staying in your own camper, we all know what that is. Cost versus benefit. So $60 a night is nothing.
I don't have an answer for that. I need to get with Tracy on that.
Okay.
I don't have the answer for that.
Mark, you may have already answered this, and if you have, I'm sorry, but have they already bought the property? I mean, it's in their
I'm not
name.
100% sure. No, it's not in there.
And I can't imagine paying that much money for that kind of property and not knowing what you can do.
Exactly.
I think they've got a contract.
Exactly.
I didn't get into, I think everything's pending on some things.
But our city orders don't have, we don't have, it's not in our city orders for a campsite to come in, right?
No.
Not that I'm aware of. But
They have to rezone it though.
what's the process of
Yeah, that's-
rezoning it? It's agricultural now, right?
Yes, they would
What
come,
would be
they
the
would come to the
process?
planning committee, would come to the planning committee. The planning committee would hear it, they would have a layout, you know, and what they would want. There's two readings on rezoning, then there's a public hearing. That's the way it works.
Where would the entrance be? Have they said where they want to bring it in at? Right down there at the boat dock or over?
Right across from Lodge, the same, almost directly right across from where Lodge's entrance is to.
That's going to cause a lot of more
Would this be-
congestion right there.
Would this be determined by the city council at this point, or would it be from a vote from the citizens of the town of New Hope?
City board.
City board would do that.
Would it
But
be?
that would be after the planning commissioner okayed.
Yes, it's got to go through them first. Go through the planning.
Can we put in can you not vote in an ordinance? What do you do? Can you not vote in an ordinance that there be no campgrounds in New Hope and just be done with it?
Yep.
Tracy's working on that as we speak.
Where in the world be at?
It's all here tonight. That's Carmen Clinton.
So basically, we're just in a standstill till we,
They ain't bought it yet, so ain't nothing they can do. I mean,
That's where we're at until they.
Still like the ordinance, so. Yeah, the ordinance, it'd be a done deal. wouldn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't have to worry about it if there was an ordinance put in place.
What's the process of this ordinance?
Could a group of citizens propose an ordinance to be voted on the next month's meeting? I guess is what everybody's asking. Could we propose one and have you all vote on it, yes or no? That's a yes or no question.
That's what he's drawn up, correct? He's drawn up
So
for it.
ask Tracy to
That's exactly
find
what's going
out.
on.
Yeah, he's drawn up ordinance
Yes,
to, it'd be, we don't have to worry about it, no more,
I
right?
hope so.
Well, I guarantee you they've got.
It needs to be married down.
Can the ordinance be with
But-
the dates in line?
That's not a.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't hear that he was researching that type of ordinance. I heard he was researching what it would take to allow that to
We're
happen.
trying to research everything we can because we've never had this
Exactly.
brought to us before, so therefore it's all new. It's
Okay.
new, so this is all just new. I mean,
Yes.
I'm trying to.
Uncharted territory.
It is, you know.
John,
And
have you,
for future references, what we need to do, and I've discussed it even when we were sitting outside, you know, I know for years and years, they had the ferry and the bridge came, and you hope this kind of stayed stale and little bit, but we're the largest city in the county land mass wise. We're the largest city in the county. And as people, the older generation pass away over here, and these farms are like they are, and the kids don't want to farm anymore.
no,
No.
There's dollar signs, and let's just be honest, I mean, you know, and it's coming, folks, it's coming, so we're gonna have to step up to the plate more here as the board and start looking at doing some amendments and doing some more, I don't think, Scott served on this board, I know, and, you know, everybody's been here a long time, but there's nothing been really done to it in 30-plus years, I guess, because we've not had no situation to arise to do it. But it's getting to the point where we're gonna have to start making amendments and start looking to the future, you know, and some people's not gonna like what I'm saying, I'm sure, but I gotta speak for the majority of the people that want that majority rules. That's just the way it is, everybody knows that. So, you know, we're gonna start looking at doing some amendment to the zoning ordinances and probably subdivision laws and regulations and things, because it's gonna grow here, folks, whether you like it or not. I mean, unless we put some stuff in place to either stop it, stay where we are, or grow gradually.
well, I don't think nobody would really be saying that if it was like a subdivision coming in.
Right.
I mean, but a house is a lot different from a,
that's
It
exactly
is.
right.
I agree. I
When
agree.
you put a camper anywhere, you put it down there in that mud hole and
That's
And
right.
that's one thing that I worried about is like at Langston, they sell lots. You don't rent them. You pay 20 grand and you get a place big enough
You
to
know,
put a camper on.
and I brought that up to Tracy. I said, because this guy brought up a point. He said, you know, we'd like to buy 10 or 15 RVs and set them up here and just leave them for people that don't have RVs. I said, now you open up a whole new can of worms right here because you're getting in subdivision laws and regulations. You put something permanent. That's a whole different ball game. And I did talk to Tracy about that, you know. That's a whole different thing. You set up something on a permanent basis, 10 or 15 is a whole different ball game. So
when is Tracy going to present this?
well, we just got all the stuff this past week and everything. I'll tell you what, I'll have him at the next meeting with whatever, you know, if y'all still want to come to buy whatever, we can But he'll have a lot of this ducks in a row.
Can you have the ordinance drawn up where y'all can vote on it the next meeting?
I can find that.
I mean, what's the chances of, I mean,
I was on this board, I know how that will flow. but
That's right.
That subdivision will be built before he gets coordinated.
Back to majority.
Quentin was with me when I talked to him on the phone, and Quentin knows what we talked about and the speediness of it. Am I correct, Quentin?
Back to the majority. Shouldn't we have a straw poll to find out what the majority of the people in New Hope want?
Well, I'm pretty.
As it is?
I ain't stupid. I pretty much look at this room. I'm here to tell you.
Do you want it?
Nope.
Every call I've got so far, nobody wants it.
So we need to encourage people to call, yes or no.
And nobody wants it.
I'd say everybody in this room here is for this very reason, just about it. So, I mean, I'm not, I ain't Ray Charles, I can see.
I mean, there's no chance that they could say, well, you know, we started this before y'all got this passed. It'll be granted.
Still got to pass us.
Okay.
Well, couldn't we amend that ordinance about the campers? Couldn't that be amended?
But he can buy the land.
I think so. I don't want to say yes and be wrong. I don't know.
Okay, can you do a favor, and can I get a copy of that ordinance emailed to me, because I never did get it, really, I
If I
didn't.
find that, I will. I know we've got problems somewhere, but I'll
Because
ask Tracy. He's got
that's why I kept asking about the ordinance, because there was several that I knew was there that just didn't come in with that packet.
That property above it.
Y'all got anybody else got any questions on that? Because I just want,
Is there anybody here that wants it?
I mean, I know that.
Is there anybody here that wants it? So that tells you something.
Well, to be totally honest with you, and maybe for other folks in the city, no, I really don't want it, but I don't know enough about it to honestly
And I
say
don't
whether I
either.
want it or don't want it.
Exactly.
And I don't need more than what I've told you. And possibly, and I know I don't want to get a ruckus going, I mean, I'm going to try to meet with these folks and kind of get their idea on it, you know, what really the large, broad scope of this thing is. And I'm just telling them, look, I had a room full at the last meeting. Y'all willing to come, and I'll get these same folks up here, they can ask y'all questions. I don't care to, you know.
People call me what they're griping about with the traffic situation. Gonna make the traffic situation bad.
I don't think traffic will be a problem. I don't think a problem,
And
traffic
it's
will be a
gonna
problem.
double the population in New Hope on a Saturday night down there, you know what I'm saying?
Well, but I think the three main factors. One, most of all, how's it going to benefit New Hope?
That's right.
Well, how is it going to benefit New Hope? What's it going to do for New
And
Hope?
are we gonna pay for all the emergency services?
Well, the
and
next
such?
question would be, what's it going to cost
That's
New
it.
Hope?
Right.
Okay? Like I
What is
said,
the crime
officers, police
breakdown at these
department,
other trailer parks? Have
other
you
issues,
checked
you're
into
gonna
it,
have
or
to
can you
have
between now and next, I mean, the ones like in
3 calls
Jasper and
a
whatnot?
year.
There's one at Marion County Park and one up there off of Nickajack. Can you check in that?
Yes, everything's involved.
Really?
You're going to have problems.
He had never put one in Marion County.
You know, I mean.
$60 a night ain't nothing for people.
You got problems.
That's why it's not campground safe for you today.
Exactly.
But
Killings and everything
I
else.
hope to have a lot of your answers for the next meeting. I'll do my best, and I'll have Tracy here. I'll have him here too to answer any questions, and I'll find out about what I can about it. And I'm gonna try to meet with these folks prior to the next meeting myself. So,
But you assured us that he's doing us an ordinance to basically stop it.
I don't know if he's doing this ordinance, but without going into great detail, I'm trying to. The board controls it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have to pass us for anything else.
Well, the only thing I got to say about it is I camp a lot. Marion County Park, good place, good people there. But how many times you think the law's in there every night?
Oh, I got video.
It's not I mean, I camp, I can enjoy it because I can drink with the best of them, but, you know, it's going to be a mess.
And it's that way
The
everywhere.
crime's going to go up. You can bet that, because they break in your vehicles down there. I mean, they bring in stolen vehicles down there and park them. It just, you know, I think it's a bad idea, you know. But I'm a camper, so you know, somebody let me come and camp too, but that's just the way
Thugs on
it's going to
St.
happen.
Mountain like it. They make a killing.
To answer your question, the best way I know how to hold my feet to fire, the board controls it. The city controls what goes down there.
And this is what we need to see, meeting night is.
And this helps us when you come, and you voice your opinion and stuff, and everybody sits back. And then when folks come in like this, I say, look, man, we're voted by and elected by these folks in this city. We live here as citizens. They put us in here to see the city's running, and we have things here that's not being, abused or misused or whatever. Y'all being here sort of helps us just make a decision a lot better.
Well,
You've been on this boat.
sometimes people are saying, I'm coming, I'll take it, I got plenty of deep pockets, I'm coming, I'll do whatever I can.
You still got to bring it for the boat.
That's right. But and then they may be the type that you say, hey, look, man, everybody's calling me, they don't want this. And they may just bail out and go their own way.
I don't know this spot.
That might happen, so.
I mean, if they're going from west to east, it's a long jump from Arizona to New Hope.
That's right, it is.
Well, there's a lot more cities they can go to. There's a lot more places in Marion County they can look at.
That's a big hop.
Send them Jack.
I know this is a controversy issue, I understand that.
Yeah.
What's the name of the group?
Well, I don't know that it has a name. It's
Get better.
the investors.
But they have one in
Can you pull that up where Dan Thornton on that email, because there's a site.
No, he's no relation, that doesn't have.
No relation.
They don't claim each other anyway.
I asked that, believe me.
He wouldn't have been putting in a campground, he'd have to find homes down there.
And that would be a little, I mean, like I said, as far as big difference.
You don't think? Yeah, there's something. He's sort of. If I can, if it's not, I'll probably, there's a website that they've got that you can go look at this campground they just finished, and I think all their, I've not even looked at it, I think all their names and whoever done it, the name of it, something Adventures Venture, I can't remember exactly what it was. One they just finished in Arizona, but it's these investors, that's
Can you
got
get the name of it and load up about 12 cases of beer? We're gonna make a road trip.
But that's a long way from Arizona to here. They hadn't put nothing in between here and there. Why?
Oh, yeah.
What's up with that?
location.
Mississippi River? I mean,
There's people that camp, I guess, they travel 200 or 400 miles to camp, I guess, I don't know, so they,
Yeah.
so.
Well,
Yeah, go Sturgis and where else,
Well, maybe, we might, once they find out they can't put boat docks and boat slips and all that on that river, because TBA will not allow
Our
that.
engineers will shut that down quick.
Yeah, they may say, hey, we might need to find a better spot.
Does anybody else got anything on that line of the question, what I'm trying to answer the best, so don't allow. It's all still in the preliminary stages, so I don't still know a whole lot, just what I've told you. I will know more by the next meeting, I will have Tracy here at the next meeting, so.
As long as y'all got our back.
Well, that's what I said, I think you pretty well got us covered. We see how the people feel, we know how the people feel, and we have to operate as elected officials, but there's a process we still have to go through, but we see, the concern of everybody. I think we know how you feel there.
and what's the email address for the city for anyone who wants to send emails?
It is City of New Hope, tn@yahoo.com.
Okay.
All right, anybody else got anything? That's it, what do you think?
I want to tell you I was going to patch the road over here for somebody wrecks.
I'm gonna fix to go to old business, and we're gonna go into old business in. Jason brought that up, right quick. We do have a road issue there up. They have been over there. They've done got it marked and everything. It's over there this evening. John seen them over there, not this, over there this evening, addressing that issue. We also have an issue on 422, which is Long Island. Road's breaking off. I was supposed to be coming over to check that out, and I just lightly told him, I told we're gonna leave here if we don't do something. So these are all being addressed.
Can we put a note on there, Six Rivers Landing?
That's city road.
Oh, so that's got nothing to do with New Hope, right?
City, the city of the state.
Because
come
I
around.
mean.
You've got a bad place that needs to be addressed, and Corey Pickett with the county highway department, just newly appointed. He's coming over to look at some stuff, and I'll take him there and look at that too. Right there close to your house where you talk about that rough spot is.
Yeah, it's almost all the way across
Yeah.
now. It's
I think the asphalt plants are just now starting to look like good lately. So we can get asphalt, Colby's saying we do that, no good, that needs to be asphalted over there.
Going down in front of my fence towards my shop, I mean, you get up and look at the road, it's breaking, and that's due to the water, I'm sure. I mean, if something, like,
Rivers Lane, Old Ferry Road. That's the best way to put it there.
if something can be done before, you know, it gets any worse,
I've got a meeting with Mr. Week, I'll take him over to that too.
It is rough now.
I mean, the water's what's killing.
It's the problem,
It's the
yeah.
problem. I mean, you know, I've done what I could do.
Oh, I know, and I appreciate it. Jason's cleaned them beaver dams out there so many times, then when they build right back, TVA needs to take some record or learn how to build one, because they sure build a dam, or can't they?
No,
We had a trapper, he came over, the county had hired, he trapped half a dozen or so, but just back the next day.
You got some on Griffin Lane that be fixed too. Go towards the end, you got some bad holes.
I mean, it's, the dam wasn't cleaned out when the beaver got.
Yeah.
They gotta fix that one that's on that river forward.
That's poor road, but he's looking at that for the port to fix, cut off.
That's bad.
Hey, those bad sections, that's gonna be cut out. But the port will have to, but that's theirs. Let me look over here, I'll give you just a second here if you don't mind, let me just kind of look over here. Hey, Jerry had mentioned something about y'all about, and Jerry might be down for a while, but it was not open the park up yet, have we?
No.
Because we need to get that and
Me and Scott's going up there to measure
the dock.
for the dock.
Well, do that and get that, and once we get, before we get open, let me know, and I'll get the number for the closets, the porta potties, because I think I come and got them back in the file, so we can get them back up there too.
Johnny on the spot.
Huh?
Johnny on the spot.
Johnny.
Okay, so that,
How about that deck? We gonna do with
That's what we do.
And we got to replace that whole dock. It's a hazard right now.
yeah, just, the best thing to do the whole thing,
Yeah,
you're gonna do it.
We're gonna bring in material leave.
Yeah.
We can do it, that leave.
We discussed the dump truck. I talked to Johnny back and forth, and he was trying to find somebody to put a motor in, or rebuild a motor in. And we also talked about trying to find one, so we got about 3 options there. I don't know which one's gonna be the cheapest, to be honest with you. A motor is about, for about 36 months or so, I think, so $5,000 you're gonna have to put in. Trying to buy a truck, you know, around 10 grand, or used one, 10 or 15 for just a good old used. If you can find one for that, and then rebuilding the motor, we're probably talking 5, 6, 7, 8 grand. I don't know. So we got some options there, but we're gonna do something.
What are you needing, how?
Well, we haul gravel, you know, for folks just in the city of New Hope, but we charge them gravel bill, $35 haul bills, all just trying to help, which probably don't help people like you that do that, but we're just trying to give something back to the citizens, you know, we're just trying to help the citizens, you know, basically is what we do there, but we got a truck that smokes like a torquillo, and we're hunting
I
more.
mean, you ain't hurting me then, because I'm not into that.
I know you about done with that form of the construction of it, I understand, but I appreciate that, though. We're still trying to do that, you know, come up with something, so. Pretty much covers the old business, we'll go to new business, they got a new business.
We do have a lot of traffic on Rivers Landing. Late at night, people sitting there on the radio on, of course, I run them off, but it ain't my place. And I take care of it when it happens. Just, you know, a lot of traffic. Walked down the shop one day and or early one morning, there's some girl sitting in my driveway asleep. You know, been there all night. Everything channeled in her car.
And sometimes, you know how we're just two people and, you know, and things, but if you do call, South Pittsburgh, I mean, I've talked to the mayor over there before, and county, South Pittsburgh will cover, you know, if it's something pretty, you know, I mean, they'll come over and help us out on that, so if you want to see it, call them, and they'll come over.
Last time I called, they passed them going up the road.
What road is this that you?
Riverland, Old Ferry Road. Old Ferry Lane.
Bless your heart, this little girl they sent over there, didn't even be nowhere by herself. But, I mean, it's, you know, it's, people throwing out garbage. Some old man and woman pulled up over there a few months ago in front of the gate across from me. When they got done, they chunked the garbage out the window, and I said, "Oh, wait a minute, that ain't gonna happen." Well, the other night, there's 2 cars sitting there, my parking lot. You know, I'm gonna open for business at midnight. I understand. It don't do no good. I mean, when you call them, somebody, are they gonna arrest them? I mean, the Southeastburg officer gonna arrest them? Exactly.
Probably unless you got them trespassing or something. I don't want nobody to do about that and leave, are they? I mean, I'm just,
I said, drinking or?
you know how old school used to operate there? Okay, moving right along.
All don't go down there.
No,
On new business still, fire hydrant, do we ever, do you know, Billy, if they ever, it was a big old business.
He's never called me back.
So we're still trying to get that. Jimmy, is still hard to use. I reckon we got the parts yet for that.
No, sir.
Okay.
Right here.
Supposed to put new good, supposed to be gonna put new good.
Got parts on order, it's on my told me, but I'll check.
Checks in the money.
I'll check this week again.
Anybody got any interest for new business here on the board? Y'all got anything to discuss on new business? Brian? Real quick, just let me intervene here at the end. I'll try to have some better answers. I'm glad you brought them all up, and I will have Tracy here at the next meeting to answer anything that I couldn't tonight, and he'll have answers for us. So I'm gonna try to meet with these folks between now and the next meeting, get a little more in depth on, you know, more about it, learn more about it. Like I said, they had the realtor and the O3 guys, and
Did you get business cards?
I do have.
Okay,
I did
so we
have.
can get the name of the place.
I do
anyway.
have their business cards, not only there at the house, but I do have business cards from all 3 of them. I do.
And you can't be too, if anybody's watched the changing of zoning in Chattanooga, Ooltewah, those areas, you cannot be too careful with wording.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mark, I'm on, next month, Keith's gonna come over here for us and kind of go over what they're gonna do down here with the propane and the natural gas. Scott probably knows more about it than I do.
I don't really know a whole lot about that.
But I talked to him about it, and he said he'd come and kind of just.
Over to Tanksville Port Road?
Yeah, to explain to it, they got something going on where they can convert that propane into natural or something.
It's a natural, what do they call it?
it's like a storage station.
Do you
I've been over there.
use natural for propane, correct?
No, they don't go in and change it, so. What's them new cruise ships running off of now? It's natural gas, but it's a certain,
Human waste.
no.
I heard what they use for everything.
No, do not get that, no, it has nothing to do with it. But it's a,
That's what.
no, it's nothing to do.
No, but anyway, he's gonna come if it's all right and kind of explain that, what they're gonna be doing over there.
That's good.
Liquid natural gas.
Yeah.
LNG plant.
Yeah.
Liquid natural gas.
We have put pole lights up. I've been on that job.
I seen that over there.
We have put 4 pole lights up. We'll get some cable tray to go up. And blade, from my understanding, basically what they're putting in there is portable. It's nothing, you know, going to be sitting in stone. Right. But we put a new fence up, or bigger fence, done some grading, put some rock down. Lofty's done that.
Good deal.
That's another thing they need to think about. Jason brought up a point about traffic right there, you know, on Ferry Road, as you call it. If you'd been there 5 years ago, you would have really seen some traffic. I'll have to give New Holtz Police Department the biggest, I mean, they have really took care, they've got our traffic slowed down tremendously. I mean, you're gonna have the average people.
Got your family, John, just plug here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But, you know, I do, if you've been there, I mean, used to, it was constantly, John will tell you, I mean, from daylight till the next morning, cars in and out.
The county's not meeting with their informants there anymore.
You know, I don't know about all that, I just know it's, I'm really satisfied. Now, I don't even, I mean, I never take my keys out of my vehicle. I trust it
This
that
guy
much.
had 2 trucks stole Friday night. No, in South Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they don't come New Hope. You know, I mean, I've never lived in a place that was so soft as down that little road. Keep going. Maybe we get John sick.
Don't wait, I'll let y'all talk when this meeting's over. Y'all got dismissed, I promise. Has anybody got anything else for me? Hope I answered the best I can. I know it's still like a worm everywhere right now, I understand that. I appreciate all y'all coming with your concerns about it, I really do, the board does. I feel the same way y'all do, I'm just telling you, so. You know, I get some more answers to it, meet with them and find out more information. It's all this past week's when it's all been transpiring, so, you know, and Quentin was willing to make a phone call and I assure you, you know, things are gonna work speedily as fast as I can get them to work, so. But if nothing else, that's what we have for you, and hope to find out a lot more and find out what's going on more. But as of right now, I can't find where they bought the place. And of course, landowners, I'm not gonna tell them that's not their job to tell them, that's their personal, so.
I just want y'all to get them $950 building permits for every one of them campers.
That's a good point there, you know. All right, they don't have the more business, sit down to your motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Here, second. All fair saying aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank y'all for coming.